Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this evening's meeting of the Town of Islip Zoning Board of Appeals. We'll start by reading the public notice. Notice is hereby given that due to the novel coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic and recent executive orders issued by the governor, the Town of Islip Zoning Board of Appeals, the zoning board hearing, scheduled for Tuesday, January 12, 2021 at 6 p.m. will be held electronically via Zoom webinar. Instead of an in-person public hearing, it will be streamed live over the internet. Dated January 5th, 2021, Islip, New York, John M. Lorenzo, Chairman. All right, our first application tonight is number 001-21. Our lucky winner for that is Donald Antwi. Permission to establish accessory apartment pursuant to Islip Town Code Section 68-602, Residence B District, southeast corner of Ava Drive, number 188 and Pioneer Boulevard, Bayshore, New York. Is there anyone here for the applicant?
Now just give me 1 second. I'll move her in. Somebody already moved Roxanne in? Oh.
Wow.
All righty then. Anticipating our decision, I see.
Where's Roxanne? Oh, I don't think she's here yet.
All right.
Hold
Then
on.
we'll take.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm trying this on a different device. So
Okay, if she's not here, just say that, and we'll skip to number 4.
I'm not getting the view that I normally have. So just give me 1 second. Probably because I asked her to share documents, so she's.
Okay, so let's skip to number 4 then. We'll call item number 4. Christopher Wade and Kyle R. Wade, permission to leave pool patio having side yard of 4.6 feet instead of the required 6 feet, and deck having a side yard of 3 feet instead of the required 4 feet. Residence B District, south side of Montauk Place, number 8, 69 feet east of Connecticut Drive, Oakdale, New York. Is there anyone here for the applicant?
Yes, we're here.
All right, and please give us your name and address for the record.
Christopher Wade, 8 Montauk Place, Oakdale, New York, 11769.
Okay.
And my brother Kyle's here as well.
Yeah,
Next to each other.
Kyle Wade as well.
Okay. And I don't see a camera on, correct?
We're showing.
Nope, I see
Nope,
it.
now it is. Okay, I got you. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hi.
Okay, so you want to tell us a little, just briefly, about your application. You need about 1.4 feet, right?
Yeah, I
On
think.
the deck, I'm sorry, on the pool, and on the deck, you need a foot, right?
Yeah, so the deck is actually, it's about a 6-inch just wood platform that my brother and I built for our garbage pails. It's not actually a deck.
Well, they're calling it a deck, right?
Yeah, but we do have images that we, I believe his name is Jean.
Gee, you know, are you technologically adept? Can you share them with us?
I don't have them, Jean.
Well, because we can't. That's why I'm
Yeah,
teasing you.
he
All right,
can't-
no worries. I see it on the survey. All right. Any questions from the board?
I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who's older?
I am.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
You look younger, so you win.
Yeah.
All right. Planning, do you wish to be heard on this application?
No objections.
All right. Does anyone in the audience wish to be heard? Seeing there's no comment, I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Wexler.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Fake Chairman. I'll make a motion that we grant the application.
Second
Second.
from Mr. Sullivan. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. So carried. Have a good night, gentlemen. And Mr. Wexler, I am either Mr. Fake Chairman or Mr. Vice Chairman, but I can't be the fake Vice Chairman.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Good night.
Okay.
Ms. Pissarro, is Ms. Trella here
She's
yet?
re-registering right now. I will get Christina Allen.
All right. So then we'll get Christina Allen. Number 005-21, Christina Allen, permission to leave patio having a side yard of 0.3 feet instead of the required 4 feet. Residence B, 278 Cluster District, west side of Greenbelt Parkway West, number 716, 318.15 feet north of Bradford Place, Holbrook, New York. Is there anyone here for the applicant? Ms. Allen, please unmute your microphone. Ms. Allen, I'll ask you again, please unmute your microphone. All right. We'll move this to second call.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
here we are.
She's there. She's there.
Okay. Ms. Allen, your name and address for the record, please.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Your name and address for the record, please.
It's Christina Allen, 716 Greenbelt Parkway West, Holbrook.
All right. Do you have more than one device on?
Yep, I'm trying to mute the other one.
Okay. We're off to an interesting start to 2021. All right, Ms. Allen,
Okay, is that better?
that's excellent. Thank you. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about your application, please, unless you don't care to?
Well, the application was for, for the backyard pool. We had everything in order, and then the inspector came last and said that the patio that comes out to the driveway was too close to the fence. But that patio had already been there. We
Okay,
had it-
that doesn't mean it was legal, though. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay, sorry, it was
you-
there
you-
when I moved in.
you're right going up against the fence. On the other side is your neighbor's house, right?
Correct.
And is that the house? Where is the house in relation to your house? Is it directly next door?
Yes, it's about, I don't know.
I mean, they're
100
set back the same amount, right? They're in line with each other?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. So of course, the issue on something like this is typically, it's invasive of your neighbor's privacy, quite frankly. So, planning, you wish to be heard?
No objections.
All right. Anyone in the audience wish to be heard? Any questions from anyone on the board? There being none, Mr. Sullivan, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Vice Chairman, I'll make a motion to grant the application.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Application granted. Have a wonderful evening.
thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
You too. All right, Ms. Pissarro.
We're back. Roxanne is with us.
Okay.
Where has she been?
Application number 1, Donald Antwi, recalling Donald Antwi. Permission to establish accessory apartment pursuant to Islip Code Section 68-602, Residence B District, southeast corner of Ava Drive, number 188, Pioneer Boulevard, Bayshore, New York. Anyone here for the applicant?
I'm here now. I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay.
Roxanne Trella, Dynamic Expediting with offices at 1040 Terry Road, Ronkonkoma, New York. And I am here to establish an accessory apartment. The home is owner occupied. The driveway has been approved and the apartment is 413 square feet.
All right, Ms. Pissarro, is everything in order?
Everything's in order.
Any questions from the board? Anyone in the audience wish to be heard? Just gonna call you. How about you? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to grant the application for a period of 3 years.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Application granted. Next application. Number 002-21, Osman Rivera, permission to leave addition to detached garage. 6.7 feet by 20 feet, having a side yard of 3.5 feet instead of the required 10 feet. Roofed over entrance platform, having front yard of 15.7 feet, and window well, having front yard of 25 feet instead of required 40 feet each. And to leave a deck, having a side yard of 1 foot instead of the required 4 feet. Residence AA District, north side of Evergreen Avenue, number 213, 107.46 feet west of Joshua's Path, Central Islip, New York. Ms. Trella?
Yes. Okay, so we're here for,
We'll note your appearance.
I'm sorry. Roxanne Trella.
No. Go ahead. I wasn't kidding. Go ahead.
Okay, good.
It's fine. It's fine.
So the detached garage was originally built in 1932. And what happened was someone at some point before the owners became the owners had put a small 6 foot by 10 shed completely against the rear of the garage. So when this homeowner moved in, what he did was he removed that old shed and just kept that same 6-foot distance and went across. But by adding that 6 feet, it changed it. We're over the square footage for it to be a 4-foot side yard, and now we require the 10.
All right. Planning, you wish to be heard?
No objections.
Ms. Pissarro, is there something you want to add?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Roxanne, did we talk about the qualification? Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the next page. Threw me off, Mr. Vice Chairman. No, nothing to be added by the
Okay, I
secretary.
thought you wanted to make a comment. I apologize.
Nope.
Anyone
not
in the audience wish to be heard? There being no one, Mr. Nicolia, since the last motion was so brilliant, I will entertain a second one from you, sir.
Motion to grant the application.
Second.
There you go. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. So carried. Thank you very much. Next application, number 003-21. Jose and Maria B. Ramirez, permission to establish accessory apartment pursuant to Islip Town Code Section 68-602, and to leave a shed having a rear yard of 3.7 feet and a roof over 10.8 feet by 25 feet, having a rear yard of 1 foot instead of the required 4 feet each, Residence B District, west side of Grand Drive, number 18, 85 feet south of Hancock Street, Brentwood, New York. Ms. Trella.
Roxanne Trella, Dynamic Expediting with offices at 1040 Terry Road, Ronkonkoma. We're here for the shed, which is just the 0.7 over what the requirement would have been for the 2 feet side yard. Here for a roof over, which is about 270 square feet, has 1 foot just in the rear. It complies with the side yard setback. And an accessory apartment. It is owner occupied. The square footage is 508 square feet. And I don't have the driveway approval from engineering as of yet. They do have to make some repairs to the driveway, but nothing that required a variance that I could see.
Ms. Pissarro, care to educate us on that?
Engineering is given the option of denying it or approving it and saying that it can be modified to comply. I think what Roxanne is saying, and as we know, she's
I know what Roxanne is saying. I'm just asking you.
engineering does not opt to use that. Being engineers, they don't really care for that box that they are allowed to check. I think that the board is probably more comfortable with approving subject to compliance with engineering's requirements.
Sure.
Now you're going to tell us how to vote, Ms. Pissarro.
Well, you asked for my opinion.
So I did. All right. Anyone planning, you wish to be heard?
No objections.
Anyone in the audience wish to be heard? All right. There being no one in the audience wishing to be heard, Mr. Sullivan.
Well, I'm going to make a motion to grant. Are we making that subject to
Yes,
anything?
please.
Subject to engineering's approval?
Thank you so much. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? None. So carried. Thank you, Ms. Trella.
Thank you. Have a good night. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Yeah.
Application number 006-21, Usman Bawa and Kasim Riaz. I apologize if I butchered those names. Permission to use dwelling for family use only pursuant to Islip Town Code Section 68-419.1, Residence A District, east side of Leopold Avenue, number 33, 290.76 feet north of Norma Avenue, West Islip. Is there anyone here for the applicant?
He's here. I've asked him to unmute.
All right, sir. There we go. Sir, name and address for the record. Hello?
I still see him as muted.
I don't see him as muted, but I don't. Mr. Bawa? Mr. Bawa? Mr. Bawa, are you there? Can you hear me? All right, second call. Next application, number 007-21, Scott Robb, permission to reconstruct roofed over porch, leaving a side yard of 13.2 feet instead of the required 14 feet, and front yard of 15 feet instead of the required 25 feet. Residence B District, north side of 2nd Street, number 17, 140 feet west of Monella Avenue, Islip, New York. Is there anyone here for the applicant?
On mute. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, your name and address for the record, please.
1534.
No.
No.
I'll just have it.
Name and address for the record, please.
Scott Robb,
Scott Robb.
1534 9th Street in West Babylon.
Okay, thank you. So tell us about your application.
The address, we'd like to take the original structure where it is. It was originally a front porch from when it was built. And all we're looking to do is reconstruct it back to the original front porch it was instead of living space.
So you're taking something that was living space and you're, in essence, subtracting the living space and you're repurposing it as a porch, right?
Yes, that's what it originally was. So we're trying to just bring back the
You bring
original.
it back to and,
Yes.
And it was compliant, I am assuming, when it was a porch. Is that true? Or do you
Yeah,
not know?
yeah. I mean, nobody has the original plans from the house because it was built,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, you have a CO, right?
Yeah, we have a CO on it. So
Does
it
the
shows
CO
on,
ever indicate that there was a porch?
no, the CO just shows it as somebody what they did was they put the entrance at the front of the porch and they left.
I'm asking what the CO says. Please just answer my question, okay? Because if you go off on tangents, this is gonna get long.
The CO just shows it as,
Does it mention a
living space.
porch?
No.
Does it mention living space?
Yes,
So the porch area is living space on the CO, is that right, Ms. Pissarro?
correct.
Is that
Yeah.
correct?
that's correct.
I'm writing to Mr. Bawa right now, trying to get him back in. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Be right
that's
with you.
okay. Can we? While we're waiting, planning, do you wish to be heard?
No objections. It's in place for what was already there. As you could see on the survey, it was just the house.
Have you seen the CO?
I might have looked at it, but I don't remember it.
I'm reading the CO right now.
Mm-hmm.
1.5 story wood frame dwelling on partial cellar, garage, wood frame, 450 square feet. Addition to one family dwelling with a platform with stairs to 2nd floor. Storage area, 108 square feet. All built, a lot of it built circa 1900, and an above ground swimming pool.
All right, so no mention of the porch, right? All right. Anyone in the audience wish to be heard on this application? Any questions from the board at this time? There being none, Mr. Wexler, you're up.
Yes, Mr. Vice Chairman, I'll make a motion that we grant the application.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Application carried. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you, Vincent. Have a great night.
You too.
That's it?
That's it. That's right.
That's it. That's it. You get off my TV now. Time for you to go. You get off the TV.
I can't be the screensaver, huh?
That's it. Sorry, pal. Have a great night.
Now you get fresh to me.
Yes, definitely. Bye-bye.
Ms. Pissarro, is Mr. Bawa in?
He's in the chat right now. He says he is not able to unmute. I'm asking him.
I don't see him as muted, though.
I don't either, but he's,
Probably why he's not able to unmute.
All right.
so he's.
You know what? Let's consider this, and if anybody feels it's necessary, we can
Right.
wait till we get Mr. Bawa in.
So I have some.
All right, so I'll call this again, number 006-21, Usman Bawa versus and Kasim Riaz, permission to use dwelling for family use only, pursuant to Islip Town Code 68419.1, Residence A District, east side of Leopold Avenue, number 33, 290.76 feet north of Norman Avenue, West Islip. Ms. Pissarro, is everything in order on this?
I'm asking right now. His mother lives with him with his wife and children. I'm asking how old his mother is. which is.
We don't have that in the file.
We do, but our hands are.
We do, but
our hands are.
I understand.
Right now.
So listen, I'm missing 2 fingertips. Don't talk to me about hands. Okay.
He's been very quick at writing back to me, but hold on, now I'll grab the file.
That's fine. Okay.
I have a question. Is his communications with Mary, written communications, part of the record?
Yes, they would be.
Okay, so we're
Actually,
good.
anything that's done through the Zoom platform, my understanding is, even if we were to communicate with each other, is saved as part of this.
Okay, so I should censor myself.
Okay.
Don't.
So-
Yes, indeed.
Oh, no, you'll
kidding,
spoil
I'm
the
kidding.
fun. You'll spoil the fun.
Okay,
Wait till
so
the FOIL request comes in for Mr. Nicolia's chat requests.
I have medical documentation for Usman's mom. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. And the doctor says that it will, because of her medical conditions, it will benefit her to live with her family.
Okay, fantastic. Is there any question from the board on this? There being none, I think I asked planning. You're okay? Deirdre?
Yes, okay.
Okay. Anyone in the audience wish to be heard? There being none, I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Nicolia, why not? We're back to you.
Motion to grant the application for a period of 3 years.
There's a
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? So carried. Thank you. Next application number 008-21, Catherine J. and William Rohrer, permission to leave 1-story addition 8.6 feet by 12.8 feet, resulting in floor area ratio of 29.35%. Instead of the permitted 25%, to leave a semi-above ground pool having a rear yard of 9.7 feet and a pool deck having a rear yard of 7.4 feet instead of the required 10 feet each. Residence B District, north side of Birch Road, number 7, 100 feet east of Bayview Avenue, East Islip, New York. Is there anyone here for the applicant?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can. Name and address for the record, please.
Yes, sir. Richard Bronchick, 87 Rhoda Avenue, North Babylon, New York, 11703. I believe the homeowner is on too, but so I'm going to wait for a second.
Okay. And Mr. Brunchick, what's your relationship to the homeowner?
Expediter.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Is Mr. Rohrer with us also?
He's in. I don't hear him, though.
Okay, so I'll just start talking if it's all right, Mr. Vice Chairman?
That's perfectly acceptable, sir. Thank you.
Okay, as you said, what we were looking for, the pool itself, excuse me, we're looking for a 0.3 foot variance setback, a rear yard setback. Obviously, the contractor just
Yeah, I wouldn't
made
spend too much. I wouldn't spend too much time on that.
Right.
What about the 7.4?
the 7.4. Mr. Rohrer was informed by his contractor at the time of installation that it was 100% up to code. Obviously, that he was led astray. What we can say also is that the rear yard has a lot of foliage, so the two, his neighbor and him, not really see each other through the backyard.
Okay.
Yes.
And you had one other variance.
Yes, the FAR extension, the rear, the garage. Now that was built by a prior owner, approximately at least 33, 34 years ago. Mr. and Mrs. Rohrer bought the property at the end of 1987. And as long as he's been living there, that has always been and is intended to be non-habitable space.
Okay, but it's
So also, I need, if it's okay, I need to just correct the public notice on this. The public notice says it's a 1-story addition, 8.6 feet times 12.8. In actuality, and you can double check with the survey, it's actually 6.6 feet times 12.8. And it's not a perfect square, perfect rectangle. So it's actually
so it's
not
bigger
fully-
than that. That's true.
it's
That
actually
doesn't
less.
help you.
So it comes out to 77.2 square feet and not the 100 plus square feet.
Okay. Any
you know, per the
questions from the
notice.
board for Mr. Bronchick?
And that's what I have to say. Any
Okay.
questions?
Any questions from the board? Planning, you wish to be heard?
No objections.
Anyone from the audience wish to be heard? There being none, Mr. Wexler,
Yes, Mr. Vice Chairman, I'll make a motion that we grant the application.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Application granted. Have a good night, sir.
Thank you. You too. Have a
All
great
right.
night. Bye.
Next application, number 009-21, the Islip Terrace Fire District, to erect a two-story building on a lot having an area of 19,976 square feet instead of the required 40,000 square feet, having floor area ratio of 26.41% instead of permitted 25%, install a flagpole. To install flagpole lighting pursuant to 68-684C, Residence A District, north side of Manhattan Boulevard, number 345, 300 feet east of Belmore Avenue, Islip Terrace, New York. Is there anyone here for the applicant?
Yes, good evening. Thomas Bloor, the architect for the project, Carlton Avenue, Suite 202, Islip Terrace, New York, 11752.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, William Glass, attorney for the Islip Terrace Fire District, 503 Main Street, Port Jefferson, New York, 11777.
All right. And which one of you gentlemen is going to take the lead tonight?
I can take the lead. I'll give a quick description of the project, the variances sought. The intent of
Well,
this
Mr.
application.
Bloor, are you saying you're subject to zoning, or are you asking us to do a Monroe analysis?
Well, that I'll defer to William. He's the expert in the Monroe analysis.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we are requesting.
So why don't we start with that, because clearly that has the most
This seems to
impact.
be
That's fine.
threshold issue.
Sure. If I may, obviously, I don't need to tell anybody what the Monroe balancing test is. You brought it up. You understand it.
We brought it up. That doesn't mean we understand it.
Well, Bill, we always throw out terms and kind of.
We got the buzzwords down anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good point. I'm not sure anybody fully understands it, since it's never really been written down. But based on what I have in terms of various writings and case law that are out there, I would suggest that there are 9 factors to be considered in your determination. Basically, what the balance is, it is a balancing of public interests. That's by definition what the test is, and it begins because of the fact that the fire district is a municipal corporation of the state of New York. So we are like the town of Islip, a municipality.
Mr. Glass,
yes, sir.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Certainly.
Anyway, good to see you.
Thank you. You too.
Is it the building, the proposed use for a firematic purpose?
Firematic purposes only. Yes, it is it is a substation to be built on the site of an existing substation.
And they're going to be fighting equipment and apparatus and vehicles?
Yes, there will be. That's basically there'll be that and some storage and a ready room for the members.
Okay, and just one other question, if I may, Mr. Vice Chairman. Why is it I'm looking at the calendar and it requires an acre. What is it that requires you to have 40,000 square feet when you only have 19?
He's in a Residence A district.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm good. Thank you, Mr. Glass.
Sure. Okay, Mr. Glass, if there's anything else you wish to add, go right ahead.
Nope, I get it. Thank you.
Okay. I think we're okay, but Mr. Glass, if you want to continue, you're free to.
The only thing I will point out is that, again, the case law suggests that a public hearing on the subject is required or is better done. And I believe that's precisely what's happening here tonight. The public interest will certainly be served by these improvements. And just to go back to the 1 acre zoning, as I pointed out, there exists presently a substation on that lot. It was
we're not concerned with that, sir.
Okay, that's fine then, as long as you have that information.
Mr. Bloor, I hate it. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Glass.
There is one other aspect to this, which is not specifically in the application, but I do want to bring it to your attention, and that has to do with the height. And Mr. Bloor, I think, can give you more specific information about the deviation.
But we don't reach that unless we find that zoning applies. Do you agree?
I do agree. I do agree.
So we'll let you finish your record. And Mr. Bloor, I stole your thunder anyway. So here's your chance to shine. Why don't
want me
you
to
just tell us real
the,
quick about what the height issue is.
Yep, we're requesting a height relaxation of 37 instead of the permitted 35, and that's due to the height of the actual trucks that will be on the first floor.
Right.
Newer
I had
trucks
a
are larger.
feeling, right.
We request of 2 feet.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. Okay. Planning, do you wish to be heard for any reason?
I just had a quick question about the flagpole mounted lights. Would those be on all night, or is there a timer with them? Or I'm just concerned about the neighbors because they're right up against the property line. Not on it, but it's
Well, but they shine up and they have to be contained on the property, right?
That's
By
just
code.
to clarify.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. I'm a little confused at that code section, but when you read 68684C, it states that uplighting, I believe, don't quote me on it, 1500 lumens may be projected upwards towards a flagpole. And that's the only uplighting I have. It's to illuminate the American flag. I believe we have Bart Google here as well, who's a member of the district, who might be able to state when that light is on or off.
Okay, sorry. So it's for the light for the American.
Just for the flag, right?
It's for the American flag only. There is no other uplighting at the
Because
site.
I saw the ones along the parking lot. That's what I thought that was referring to. Okay.
No, the parking lot will be downlighting.
Do they take the flag down at sunset? Because I think under flag etiquette, if the flag remains hoisted, it must be illuminated.
Correct. You're right, Mr. Wexler, of course.
If I may, I'm sorry, Bill, go ahead.
So I'm sorry, is the flag, I mean, if the flag is coming down each night, it's a non-event, the light. Does anybody know?
The intent is not for the flag to come down. I do know. I've had this discussion. And the intent is for the flag to be up, but the uplighting is basically going to be mounted in the ground, flush with the ground, and basically pointing straight up. It'll
It's
be
required if
directly,
you're going to fly the flag in the evening. That's all.
Right. It'll be the lighting itself will be parallel to the flagpole, so that I don't really think there's any chance of neighbor interruption.
Okay. Well, you're required by code anyway to keep that, as I understand it, on your property.
Yes.
So. All right. Anyone else wish to? Any other questions from the board?
Yes. Oh.
From the board. Anyone from the audience wish to be heard? Now's your chance.
Hi, yes, my name's Danielle. We live directly behind the substation.
Hi.
And this summer,
Danielle,
I know that,
Danielle, I need your full name and your address, please.
sure, sorry. Danielle
Okay.
Leonard, and
Yeah,
I am
thank
on 238 Woodmere Street.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, go
So
ahead.
this they cleared away all the trees and whatever else they had there, which took away a lot of our privacy from our yard.
Right.
In the plans, are there any plans to put any privacy trees or anything along our fence line that meets theirs?
Mr. Bloor, you want to answer that?
Sure, absolutely. We've already gone through planning board hearing. You know, I'm a member of the as well. The existing site is all asphalt back there, pretty much. What this new plan is, have roughly 25 feet back there of green trees, staggered trees, the fence, all in compliance with the town of Islip planning buffer. So what we see is a lot more vegetation in the back, also wrapping the two sides of the building to be sensitive to the residential neighbors. Also, the new building in the back is only 1 story for a portion, because we understand we're surrounded by residential back there. You're going to have a ton more green trees and everything back there, where the existing site right now is literally just asphalt back there.
Right, yes.
Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes, excellent.
You're
Thank
good
you
with
very
that?
much.
What about this? Smoking or not?
We have had an issue, especially this summer with them in the back. I know a seating area is in the plan, with them smoking cigars and whatnot back there. Can we lessen that, or, I mean, because it comes right over into our yard?
I'm sure that they want to be good neighbors, and Mr. Glass, I'm sure you'll talk to your client about that, and whatever's happening will be done in such a way to mitigate the impact.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I'll bring it up at the next meeting.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your participation. It's extremely helpful to us.
No problem. Have a good night.
You too.
You too.
All right. Anyone else from the audience wish to be heard? There being no one else from the audience, no further questions from the board. Mr. Wexler, would you like to make the motion regarding the Monroe analysis, please?
Yes, I will make the motion that, based on the presentation from the applicant, that the balancing act of Monroe analysis, that it is serving a firematic and municipal purpose. As such, my understanding of Monroe is that it is not subject to the zoning for the town of Islip, although we do have input. But I think that even if it were, I think this board would be granting the application anyway. So I'll make a motion to grant the application.
Okay, so we'll have a twofold motion. Number
Second.
one, that they satisfied the Monroe test. And number two, even if for any chance some court should determine that's not the case, that we would grant the variance. And Mr. Nicolia has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? None. Application granted. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So
Next
Go ahead.
application, number 10-21, Jose Zavala. Permission to leave pond in front yard were only permitted in rear yard. Leave 6-foot fence having a second front yard of 0.3 feet instead of the required 10 feet, and on front property line not having required setback of 15 feet, and to leave 4-foot and 6-foot fences in sight distance triangle. Residence B District, northwest corner of Brightside Avenue, number 9, and Railroad Street, Central Islip. Is there anyone here for the applicant?
Moving them in right now. My phone is ringing, which I imagine is somebody telling me that they can't get in, so.
Well, one thing at a time. Mr. Zavala, please unmute yourself.
No, I'm okay. Real quick, do you prefer on computer?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Is that you, Mr. Zavala?
It is. It is I.
Okay, your name and address for the record, please.
Zavala, 9 Brightside Avenue, Central Islip, New York, 11722.
Okay, anything you want to tell us about your application, sir?
No, you described it the way it is.
Okay.
I don't know what else I can do.
Very good. Planning, do you wish to be heard on this?
4444.
Only hesitation I have is the site distance triangles. That's the site distance triangle and the pond in the front yard.
Okay, well,
Are hazards. The ones that are along the front, along Brightside Avenue, Street View, and they seem to be like wide enough within the slats. More like not like a wrought iron fence, but maybe made out of aluminum. I'm not sure what it's made out of.
Yeah, it's like iron. You're right.
So it's, but
Okay.
it's site triangle.
So planning's objections are twofold. Number one, to anything in the site distance triangle. And the second thing was the pond in the front yard. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Zavala, anything you'd like to say in response to that?
No, I mean, the fish pond has been there since I first purchased the house. You know, I would like to keep it, but if I need to do something about it, but I would really like to keep it the way it is.
I understand, but that's a very wise position you've taken. All right, does anyone in the audience wish to be heard on this application? Thought I saw somebody, right?
Yes, can you hear me? Susan Pellegrino?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
No, yeah. Do I need to be seen or can I just be heard?
No. I didn't see even the square with your name. is
Oh,
what I
okay.
meant. Okay, that's fine. No, for now, you can hide behind the cloak of a name
Thank you. Thank you.
one of the miracles of the Zoom era. So your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, so Susan Pellegrino, I'm speaking on behalf of the Central Islip Coalition of Good Neighbors. So our website is our address. I'm not sure what other physical
Well,
address.
no, I
we
need
could
your
give you.
address, your personal.
Oh, 85 Deer Path Road, Central Islip.
Thank you.
So,
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so we are concerned about the two things at the planning department. The pond, that to me is just a tragedy waiting to unfold.
Okay,
with water in
but
the
you
front.
heard what the applicant had to say, so
Right.
you know.
So if that's removed and the site triangle, Brightside is a heavily traveled through street from Carlton Avenue to Islip Avenue.
Well, heavily traveled or not, I think if you look at the prior decisions of this board, I defy you to find a single one that would permit, I don't know that we even have the authority to permit something in the site distance triangle, to be candid. We've had this discussion many times before, so we share your concern as well.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
All right. I saw Ms. Kavanaugh. Do you wish to be heard?
Nope, Susan said it all.
Okay, thank you. All right. Any questions from the board at this time? Is there a motion? Let's say Mr. Nicoli, do you want to make a motion?
Okay.
How about this, Mr.
Yeah.
Nicoli? I'll make the motion. How about that? I haven't, just so I don't get rusty.
I was trying to figure the right words for this one.
I got it. No worries. So I would move that we grant the application except deny those portions with respect to the pond in the front yard and the two instances, or rather the instances of intrusion onto the site distance triangle, the 4 and 6 foot fences. Second from Mr. Wexler. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay, sir, you're gonna have to square up on that corner and take care of that corner rather and move the pond. Everything else is granted. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. All right, next application, number 11-21. Kevin O'Connell, permission to leave detached garage 24 by 24, having a rear yard of 5.1 feet and the side of 5.7 feet instead of the required 10 feet each. Patio having side yard of 2 feet instead of the required 4 feet, and patio on side property line not having required setback of 4 feet. Residence B District, east side of Seville Boulevard, number 4, 750 feet south of McNeil Street, Sayville. That anyone here for the applicant?
Yes, Kevin O'Connell, 43 Seville Boulevard, Sayville.
All right, sir. Anything you'd like to tell us about your application?
No, everything's pretty much stated as it is.
All right. Planning. We'd love to hear what you have to say.
There's no precedent for the detached garage.
Okay. Notwithstanding that there's no precedent, do you find any merit to the request?
I'm a little hesitant with the garage just because of how big it is so close to the side and rear yard, but at least with the rear yard, it is only, I think, the 5.1 at the one point. It does get a bit wider.
Yeah, right. I see that.
But it does get a bit wider.
Yep.
But otherwise, the patios are fine.
Okay. Any questions from the board at this time?
Yes, Mr. Vice Chairman, I have a concern. I mean, it's not earth shaking, but it's 5 instead of 10. I understand the property line slopes in toward the west as it goes south, but that's a 50% reduction. And I don't think any part of it complies.
No, that's not true. Some part of it must comply with something.
I don't, yeah. I don't know though. Maybe Deidre
I'm only kidding. No, I think you're right, Mr. Wexler. I think
So
you're absolutely right.
it's not as though we get those cases where it's at an odd angle and everything else. But here, none of that easterly side complies. I just think it's a 50% reduction.
Right.
We are opening ourselves up to having to grant that. And I don't know what we could say to.
Well, there's also, you're saying there's no compelling reason for it either, right?
I can't think of any. No.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns? All right. Anything further, Mr. O'Connell, that you may wish to say?
It was approved for 22 by 22 by the town.
Well, but that's not what you built anyway, right?
Unfortunately, no, it got built to 2 feet bigger.
So did you, Ms. Pissarro, was there a prior variance on this?
No, the 22 by 22 would have been approvable. It would have been under 500 square feet.
Oh, I
That's
see.
484. The height is
Kicked over, right?
Yeah, the height
Oh,
is.
I see. Can I ask a question then, DJ? How much over is it? Instead of, what is it? How many square feet over the 500 is it?
76.
76?
15% over.
All right.
Is,
Go ahead.
I,
It's tough, right?
yeah,
You want to
it's not- as I
reserve?
s-
You want to reserve? You can
Yeah,
kick it
let's
around.
reserve because we may end up granting it and saying we're going to allow up to 15%. I mean, that's something would be reasonable. So
Okay.
I thought it was much larger. So
No
I'd make
worries.
the motion that we reserve, please.
That's fine. Second for the motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? All right, so we have 62 days within which to render you a determination. We'll try to get to it sooner if we can, but that's what we're permitted by law. Is there any reason that you need this anytime sooner?
No.
Okay, so let us deliberate, let us see what we can do, and really give a close analysis that would only inure to your benefit, I believe, okay?
No. I have
All
one.
right. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, this survey is from the person I got it from, or is this like the actual lot line from? No, because I was told that I actually have 2 feet of my neighbor's property. My neighbor has 2 feet of my property, so I just want to know if that's.
That's noted on, well, I mean, there's something that's at variance with the lot lines, a PVC fence, 1.3 feet, I think it is.
Okay. I'm saying, does
Something
that
like that.
factor in with the?
No, your property line's your property line. Your fence can move, but your property line can't.
So your setback is measured from your property line, not your fence.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Unfortunately for you in this case, I'm sorry.
Thank
No,
you.
it's
For
good. I was never really understanding on, if it was my fence or the property line, whatnot.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, next application number 12-21, David and Kristen Schoenar, permission to erect 1- and 2-story additions, 6.6 feet by 10 feet and 23 feet by 40 feet irregular, an outdoor shower leaving a side yard of 21 feet instead of required 75 feet, residence AAA district, west side of Gillette Avenue, number 60, 630.2 feet south of Middle Road, Bayport. Anyone here for the applicant?
Let the record reflect that I'm going to recuse myself from consideration of this application.
Very good, sir. Thank you. Is there anyone here for the applicant? I'll ask again.
Yes.
Who's that?
Tony Shikalski, architect.
Spell your last name, please, for our court reporter, and give us your address, please.
Sure. SZEKALSKI, 255 West Main Street, Bayshore.
Okay, very good. I think we all have been around long enough. We understand the application. Is there anything important that you think should be added to the call of the meeting?
No, I think it's it's an existing structure that's 17.7.
Yeah, you're doing better than part of the existing structure, right?
Right, and we are asking for relaxation of 4 feet. We're doing 21 feet.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. As you note on the floor plan, we're locating the bathroom and closets on that north side, therefore limiting the windows and any kind of privacy to the neighbor to the north. So we're respecting that.
Very good. Planning, you wish to be heard?
No objections.
All right. Anyone from the audience wish to be heard? Not hearing none. Mr. Sullivan, I'll take a motion. We haven't heard from you in a while.
You're muted, Mr. Sullivan.
There I am. Can you hear me?
There you go. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Mr. Vice Chairman, I'll make a motion to grant the application.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Application granted. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Nicolia, please come back. We miss you. It's application number 13-21. Yenny and Fennel Armand, permission to erect a second-story deck and roof over patio having a rear yard of 26.9 feet instead of the required 40 feet, residence AAA district, northeast corner of South Saxon Avenue, number 49 in Colonial Court, Bayshore, New York. Anyone here for the applicant? Excuse me.
Yes, we are here.
We here.
The owners.
Okay. Is there anyone here, any design professional appearing for you, or are you going to present?
He can't make it today.
So it's up to you, huh? Pressure's on.
Pressure's on. That's it.
All right. Anything you'd like to add?
No, we just want to do the backyard so it could be more usable for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then pretty much that's it. Just for us, it's like nothing that's gonna be closed in or anything like that.
Okay, very good. Planning, you wish to be heard?
No objections. It looks like a lot of the houses along, I believe Saxon Avenue kind of have similar conditions, very shallow
Right.
rear yards and stuff like that.
Right.
If anything, maybe condition never to enclose the covered patio.
Okay,
But-
sir. Ma'am, did you hear that?
Yeah, it's not
Are
gonna
you-
be closed.
All right, you're willing to agree to that, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, that's a very wise thing to address the planning department's concern. Anything else, Ms. Ryan?
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board at this time? No questions from the board. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard? There being none. Mr. Sullivan, keep us rolling, my friend.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, I'll make a motion to grant the application with the proviso that it never be enclosed.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you. Next application number 14-21, Chiodo Family Trust, permission to erect second-story deck and staircase having side yards of 11.1 feet and 13.8 feet instead of required 14 feet each. Residence A District, south side of Driftwood Drive, number 167, 137.04 feet west of Mariner Circle, West Islip. Is there anyone here for the applicant? I see Mr. Chiodo is here. You got to unmute yourself, sir, please. Ms. Pissarro, is there anyone else here?
No, not on this.
Okay.
The architect should be here as well.
I don't see him here. Okay. Notwithstanding that, we have a copy of your survey in front of us. Is there anything you would like to add for us to consider beyond the call of the meeting?
Nope.
All righty then. Ms. Ryan.
There are precedent for a second story deck with a side yard of 8.3 and another one with 8.3. This seems like it's, I believe, for the most part, keeping in line with the house, except for the staircase on the west side over here. But it seems minimal enough, so no
So
objection.
which needs more relief so I have it straight, the staircase or the deck?
I think both need 14, so I think it's a stairs.
No. I'm saying which one it needs more variance relief,
Stairs.
right? One is 11.1. That's the stairs.
Yes, Kevin Daly is present. I don't know if you could hear me.
Hi, Kevin.
All right.
Hi, sorry about that.
That's okay. No worries. So, Mr. Daly, the stairs are 11.1 and the deck is 13.8, right?
Yes, the stairs
Okay,
are
so the deck is
11.1 on.
0.2 of a foot off, right?
Yes, and as
All right.
mentioned, there was a variance for a side yard of 8.3.
right.
Application number 363-04.
Okay. Ms. Ryan, anything else to add?
No, that's it.
All right, Mr. Daly, if things hold out, that was the best presentation of the night. Any other questions from the board? Anyone in the audience wish to be heard? There being none, Mr. Wexler, I'll entertain a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. I make a motion that we grant the application.
Is there a second? All right, thank you. All
Aye.
in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Application granted. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next application number 15-21, Jean G. and Marie M. Cadet, permission to establish accessory apartment pursuant to Isotown Code Section 68-602, leaving a second front door in violation of 68-610B, and to leave patio on side property line, not having a required setback of 4 feet, Residence B District, north side of Blue Jay Drive, number 41, 1,404.24 feet east of Wicks Road, Brentwood. Is there anyone here for the applicant? Ms. Pissarro, is someone here?
Hello?
I can't. Okay, that's is that Jean Cadet?
Yes, my name is Gene Cadet, 41 Blue Jay Drive, Brentwood, New York.
All right, thank you so much. Anything you'd like to add to the call of the meeting for us to consider, sir?
Yeah, I got 2-car garage converted on accessory apartment. And so I'm looking for, if I can legalize that apartment.
Okay, why do you need a second front door?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, I don't really know if it was illegal to get it. It's not like something.
Do we have any pictures of the front of the house? I'd like to see.
I
what
was
that
going to
looks
say
like.
the same thing. These are picture oriented.
Oh, I was send all the picture with the application, but you want to take a picture too? Oh yeah, I got it on my phone. Sorry, give me a second, please.
All right, well, we can't see you, so I don't know how we're going to see your phone.
Oh, you can see me? There.
No, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Mary, we don't have any photographs in the file.
Yes, I got all the house on file.
No, not you,
No, I was
sir.
directing
We're
that
talking to Ms.
Mary.
Pissarro.
Oh, can you see me now?
Sir, hang on. Ms. Pissarro, unmute yourself, please.
I can see it now.
I can see it.
Thank you. All right.
That's kind of what the code doesn't want.
Exactly.
Very
I would agree with
very
that.
nicely put, Mr. Wex.
Yeah.
That's why we need to look at the pictures.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. Second front doors can be tricky.
Picture's worth 1,000 captions.
There you go. All right. Ms. Pissarro, please unmute yourself and let us know, is everything else in order?
Everything else is in order, yes.
Okay. All right.
Maybe we can grant the application with a period of time to remove the front door.
Or you can grant it subject to removal.
Yeah.
Right. That's the route I would go.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. Anyone in the audience wish to be heard on this application? Planning, I think you're clear, right?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Cadet, you can say something else if you wish, but.
Okay, about the patio. There was
No. The patio's going to be everything. The patio's going to be fine.
Okay.
Our problem is the second front door. Okay. Frankly.
Okay, just on whatever you ask me to do, the board asked me anyway,
Okay.
and I will do it.
Thank you so very much, sir. We appreciate that tremendously. All right. No one else wishing to be heard. I'll entertain a motion, Mr. Sullivan.
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the application, but for the second front door, which is denied, and the permission to establish a second, the accessory apartment would be approved only after the front door is removed.
All right. Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. Great. So you have everything. You just got to take care of that second front door. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. When I take it, when they come for the inspection, they're gonna tell me exactly where I have to open it.
You just have to close it up, and if you need help with that, call the building department. Okay.
So
Thank you very much.
they'll also be asking for modifications to the garage door as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay. The
we're
building
not-
department will help you with that.
Correct. We're not going to try to say what's going to be required.
Yeah. We don't know.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too, have a good one.
All right, next application, number 16-21, Peter J. and Christine A. Schiavone. Permission to leave second story deck having a side yard of 8 feet instead of 14 feet. To leave ramp and landing on side property line not having required setback of 4 feet, currently encroaching over property line. To leave the shed attached to the detached garage having a side yard of 7.5 feet instead of required 10 feet, resulting in floor area ratio of 36.25% instead of the permitted 25%, and total rear yard area of 24.87 instead of permitted 10%. Residence B District, west side of Rollstone Avenue, number 86, 615.6 feet south of Brook Street, West Sayville. Is there anyone here for the applicant?
Yes, Peter Scavone, 86 Rollstone Avenue, West Sayville, New York.
All right, thank you, sir. And Mr. Schiavone, do you wish to advise us of anything in addition to what was in the call?
Just that the upstairs deck, it's a two-family legal house. The upstairs deck was actually replacing the old upstairs deck that was not on the CO, but it was falling off the house. So we replaced that.
So you replaced one illegal deck with another illegal deck.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I did it.
That's how we roll, huh? All right, good.
Yeah, I didn't know it was illegal.
I'm sure you didn't. I just making light of it.
Okay.
All right. The problem with the deck, though, to be very candid, and I'm one of the most vocal members about this on this board, is that it infringes terribly on your neighbor's privacy.
Okay.
You know, when it's the closer it is to the property line. Second story decks are really rough.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's going to be problematic, at least for me.
Well, the thing is, being a two-family house, there has to be a second exit, doesn't there?
Okay, but you don't need a deck that big either. You could just have a landing, for example,
Okay.
and maybe egress stairs. You know, quite frankly, sir, and this is just, I'm speaking for myself and nobody else, with the exception of the shed attached to the detached garage, I don't see anything else on here that's really grantable as it stands right now. So what I would recommend to you is, if you wish, if you request an adjournment, I'm sure the board would grant it to you, so that you can sit down with the planning department and perhaps work out an application in such a way that it's less offensive and you may stand a better chance of success.
Okay. What about even with the handicap ramp?
What about the handicap ramp?
That's there. That was in the application too.
To leave a ramp on the side, okay. Yeah, the ramp is probably okay too.
Okay.
Again, I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for the entire board.
No problem. I'm just, you know, I want to have it correct.
Right. No. I understand that. And that's why what I'm trying to do is encouraging you to work with planning. See, it's a very big deck.
Definitely. I don't have a problem working with them.
All
if I
right,
got to
so-
rearrange it, I'm more than willing. That's not going to
Yeah. Okay. I know you what you want to do is come into compliance. I get it. And we want to
Correct.
be as generous with you as we can without offending, you know, zoning principles and sensibilities. So,
Okay.
I would suggest you call planning tomorrow or whenever you get a chance and speak
Yeah,
to
I can
Ms.
call them tomorrow.
Speak to Ms. Ryan. I'm going to give you a phone number. You got a pen and paper?
I'm ready when you are, sir.
Go ahead. It's 631
Okay.
224
224
5450.
5450.
Okay, that's
Mrs. Ryan? R-Y-A-N?
Ms. Ryan.
Ms. Ryan. My apologies.
No worries. And we're going to adjourn. Ms. Pissarro, how would you like to do the adjournment? What's best for you? You want to keep it open, or do you want to give it a date now?
Are we in hopes of having this deck pulled back to?
Yes, that's exactly what we're in hopes of.
And Deirdre's going to advise as to what's advisable? Maybe Deirdre
Not
needs
what's
to-
advisable, what might be acceptable to the planning department, so they wouldn't oppose it, which I'm sure they will right now.
Right, but there's not a lot of place to put it unless
Ms.
you.
Pissarro?
Well,
what would you like, an open date, or would you want to set a date?
We can have an open date.
Okay.
I have a letter of opposition from the adjacent property owner.
Of
the one
course.
that is most impacted.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Regarding the above,
Mr. Vice Chairman, if we leave it as an open date, what is the impetus to get the applicant back in to remediate it?
Okay, so let's put it out for 60 days. How about that?
Okay.
All right, we'll notify you of the date 60 days or forward.
Okay, I will call the
you know.
planning department tomorrow.
That's fine. You set
And-
up an appointment. We'll give you a little time, but you know, obviously we want your neighbors by spring, summer to be able to enjoy their property as well without the privacy impact. And you know, Ms.
Was there
Pissarro,
a-
Ms.
was there-
Pissarro, go ahead.
Oh, I just have one question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Did I hear there was a letter from a neighbor?
Correct. Do you want, Ms.
There
Pissarro,
is.
you want to tell them who it's from, please?
it's from Ronald Camerata at 84 Rollstone Avenue.
All right.
Okay.
So you might want to reach out to Mr. Camerata as well. Ms.
Okay. He
Pissarro's-
doesn't live there, so I'd have to find where he is in Florida.
Well, there you go. That's fine. He still
That's
owns
it.
the
Makes it
property. He still
difficult.
has a right to be heard and is out.
Yep.
Is not being unreasonable. Ms.
Okay.
Pissarro's pointing out to you, though, I think, foreshadowing the difficulties that may be ahead of you. So you really want to jump on it as quickly as possible. Okay?
Yeah, I'm going to do this tomorrow. Time is the one thing I have. Being
Okay.
handicapped, you have time.
Very good. Mr. Wexler, I'll entertain a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. I make a motion that we adjourn for what period, Mary?
We're talking 60 days, right, ma'am?
60 days.
Sounds good. I'm not sure what our hearings will be around that time.
Okay,
Right,
then to
in
be
the
notified.
discretion of Ms. Pissarro, the secretary to the board. All right, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Application is adjourned for 60 days. Good luck, sir.
Okay,
Next
thank you very
application,
much.
You're welcome. Number 17-21, Hugh and Deborah Cullen, permission to erect a one-story addition, leaving a side yard of 13.9 feet instead of the required 14 feet, resulting floor area ratio of 30.2% instead of printed 25%, to establish accessory apartment pursuant to Isotown Code Section 68-602, and leave patio having a side yard of 1 foot instead of the required 4 feet. Residence B District, east side of Hiram Avenue, number 1503, 250 feet north of Hauser Avenue, Holbrook, New York. Is there anyone here for the applicant?
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
Hi, how are you? Can you guys got to move closer? These are the owners. Deborah Cullen. Say your name and the address.
Hi, Deborah Cullen, 1503 Hiram Avenue, Holbrook.
Okay. Who's there with you that's speaking?
My husband.
This is
Hugh Cullen.
That wasn't your husband's voice, I heard. Whose
Sorry.
voice is that?
Daughter.
Joseph
Sorry,
Gabriel.
I'm their daughter. Sorry.
And what's your name, ma'am, in case you want to?
Is Andrea DeSimone.
Okay, thank you so much.
Spell your last name for me, please.
It's DeSimone.
Thank you.
You got it.
All right, so do you have a design professional coming? I see there's a Mr. Gabriel here. Is that your
Yes.
design
Yes.
professional?
Yes, he should be presenting.
Okay, very good. Mr. Gabriel?
Good evening. The applicant would like to create an accessory apartment and slightly enlarge the building to make a little more room on the interior for the apartment. What we did is we simply took the lines of the building and extended them till they created a 90-degree angle, and we wound up with a 30.2% FAR, which I know is slightly above what you generally might approve. The other side yard issues were exactly what the building is today. We did not create any additional.
Well, you're also only 1/10 of a foot off, so that's not really worth spending too much time on, I don't think.
No, I
What about the 1 foot instead of 4 feet on the patio?
that's a walkway. That's not really a patio.
Well, it doesn't matter. It needs a 4-foot setback, and you don't have it. So
Well,
why?
then we could do is modify the walkway at that point.
There you go. That's perfect. Okay. Any questions from the board at this time? No questions from the board. Ms. Ryan, you wish to be heard.
There is precedent for a higher FAR. There's 30.23, 31.35, 31.6, so no objections.
Okay, that's great. Anyone in the audience wish to be heard on this application?
No. I have a question of.
Okay, go ahead.
In looking through the file, the apartment complies at 731.6 square feet. I see a blank engineering review for the driveway, which during the pandemic, we've had a little trouble with making sure we get the driveway reviews completed to us. But I do see on your plot plan, Joseph, that you're proposing to relocate the existing driveway.
Yes, we're going to relocate the existing driveway to create one additional parking space.
Okay, so I guess it's 3 cars wide.
It's 3 cars.
Has engineering seen it?
It was submitted. I don't know that anybody's approved it.
Okay, should we, I think, Ms. Pissarro, what you're suggesting is we should, like we did earlier this evening, if we deign to grant the accessory apartment application, make it subject to the engineering review on the driveway?
Yes, this is the map of Russell Realty, isn't it? So I think the road is the road kind of narrow?
Hiram Avenue, I can tell you, yes,
Yeah,
it's
the road is
narrow.
kinda narrow. So you don't want to, you're going to try really hard not to park the cars on street, right?
Right.
It's not
Right.
really even that
We do
possible.
not have any cars on the street.
You cannot, right?
We do not. We're not proposing any.
Right.
The reason they wouldn't is because frankly, any car on that street or those streets up there is in danger of frankly being
Getting
hit
hit.
because it really is that narrow.
Yes.
So what I'm thinking is engineering will see this and say, there's not space for 4 cars there, but I think the board is probably feeling pretty satisfied with this design, aren't you?
I have no concern about it. Does any other member of the board have concern about it? No, doesn't sound like it.
So Joseph, I think you have the 4th car behind the front one alongside the house, right?
That's the best we could do, yes.
Yeah, and you're holding a 4-foot side yard there?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so so there are 4 cars shown here. I'm not sure whether engineering would have approved them, but as long as the board's okay with it, then I think that's the way it will go.
So we can approve it notwithstanding the lack of engineering review? Is that what you're saying?
I think that you can approve it, subject to engineering review as to the condition of the driveway. It's going to be brand new, so I can't imagine what they'd have to say.
But not the
And
layout, but the layout we can approve.
You can approve the layout.
Yeah.
Okay.
And gentlemen, we've worked with the town many times before. And
Oh, no, listen, we have no doubt that you'll work with them, but we just don't want you to have to come back here. That's
Thank you.
And not that we don't like you. They seem to be lovely people, your clients, and you yourself are not offensive at all. So, so that's the best you could hope for, I guess. Okay, that being said, any questions from the board at this time? There being none, I'm sorry, go ahead. Mr. Sullivan, it's on you
No.
anyway, so go ahead.
No questions.
Okay. No one from the audience wishes to be heard, Ms. Pissarro?
No.
That's what I thought you said. Okay, Mr. Sullivan, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the application for an accessory apartment, subject to the rules of the town, but also subject to
For
the
3 years
engineering
as well,
approval-
right?
I'm sorry?
For 3 years?
For 3 years, subject to the approval of the engineering department, definitely with respect to the driveway,
Okay, but not the layout.
but not the layout.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second for that motion? That fine motion? I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Application granted. Thank you very much, folks. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, ladies, thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
All
Good
right.
night. Thank you.
Good night.
Next application, number 18-21, Denny's and Diana Horn. Permission to establish accessory apartment pursuant to Isotown Code Section 68-602 to widen driveway to 49.9 feet in violation of Section 68-612, resulting in front yard occupancy of 41% instead of the required 35%, to leave a shed not having 20 feet behind the line of the dwelling, to leave pool deck having a rear yard of 3 feet and a side yard of 1.3 feet instead of the required 10 feet each, and a 6-foot fence having a second front yard of 2.7 feet instead of the required 10 feet. Residence B District, southwest corner of Locust Avenue, number 2888 and Rosevale Avenue, Ronkonkoma, New York. Is there anyone here for the applicant? I see a Salim Abraham. Are you here for this application?
Good evening. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. And are you here for the applicant?
Yes, I am, sir.
All right. Your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Salim Abraham. I reside at 254-10 Francis Lewis Boulevard, Rosedale, New York, 11422.
All right. Very good, sir. The floor
Good
is
evening.
yours.
Thank you
Yep.
very much. I sent to Mary some updated drawings regarding the pictures and the survey.
Sure. Survey's up on the screen now.
Okay, and also a plot plan.
Yeah. Maybe that's what's on the screen. I'm sorry.
Okay, you have a survey on the plot plan, the survey, but earlier I sent to Marie regarding the requirements. What happened is we want to do is remove the second driveway facing the neighbors, and to enlarge the front driveway to be able to accept more cars. That's one thing we want to do. The extent of the driveway will be 49 feet by 27 feet, 0.4 feet. That's one of the variances that we required. Okay, this is the updated one. Okay, and also we have a shed that is facing the street. I also sent the picture that from the street we can see the shed. And the last one will be the platform surrounding the existing pool that is surrounded with trees on the side yard of the owner.
Okay.
That's so for to get the apartment. Basically, very simple.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Ryan, we'd love to hear from you.
There's no precedent. I'm mostly concerned about the deck because I believe it's 4 feet high. And it's very close to the property line. Also, the shed, it has, I think, was put in sometime between 2001 and 2004, but I believe it still need a 10-foot setback from the front line of the dwelling, and it doesn't have that either. There's just no precedent for anything, I don't think.
All right, so there's no part of this that you believe to be grantable, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Is there any questions from the board? All right, no questions from the board. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard? No one in the audience wishing to be heard. Sir, I don't know if there's anything you want to add or anything you wish to request at this point in time, but
The question is, the issue would be the shed in the deck or the driveway?
the issue is everything. I mean, planning has basically taken the position that there's nothing here that they can support. And there's nothing here that, nor is there any precedent for any of the requests here in the neighborhood or within the 500 feet radius. So having said all of that, I don't know if there's anything that can be done here. And that certainly doesn't appear to me, but I don't know, maybe you're more insightful than I.
Can we adjourn it? Can we go to planning to see what can we do to be able to apply to make it more feasible?
If you want that, we would always grant that as a courtesy. That's fine. We'll give you the same 60 days we gave the last. Let me ask you, sir, are you aware? Are there any violations on this? Is there any enforcement?
I'm not aware about any violation. The issue was the deck and and they
All right.
legalize the basement, the apartment in the garage.
Yes, they're attempting to legalize the accessory apartment, so we can take.
That's
some
what brought them
testimony on-
here. I got it.
And the driveway.
I'm sorry, Ms. Pissarro, is there something else you wanted to add?
We can take some testimony on the accessory apartment and the proposed driveway.
Okay, so let's hear about that.
So, Salim, the apartment complies with the ordinance. I think it's pretty small. It's under 500 square feet, right?
460 square feet.
Sorry, let me
Sorry,
get
what
the,
was that number?
460. 460.
Thank you.
And also you have the attached floor plans for the garage conversion for the apartment.
right. We don't need to see that because I'm having a lot of trouble sharing all your documents right now. So, the driveway that is on your plot plan, you can't share your drawings, Salim?
I see.
All right, I've got your drawing back up. Okay. So if I could call the board's attention to the proposed driveway, it's speckled there, and similar to the last application, it's an attempt to have a 1 car deep. This one is a 4 car wide driveway.
Correct.
Currently, there are 2 driveways on the property currently. One leads up to what was the existing garage, and the other is all the way south on the property line. Kind of would have led up to the pool and the pool deck. Salim, that driveway on the south property line is to be removed, correct? Yes, that's what it says on the plan. It says driveway to be removed. And the other driveway is to be extended by 250%. It's going from roughly 20 feet wide to a proposed 48.9 feet wide.
That's 49.9. It's 49.9.
Yeah. So I know your resultant calculation was 41%, and you sent this to me, not too long ago, but unfortunately that was done incorrectly because this is a corner parcel. It's penalized by the front yard occupancy ordinance in that it removes anything that is second front yard. So that would be anything from the north wall of the house all the way to Roosevelt Avenue would be removed from your overall front yard area. The board has in the past applied some equity to that, but I don't know how the board feels about a 4-car wide driveway, 50 feet wide.
We don't feel good about it.
Says the chairman emeritus. All right. So
I
you
mean,
have your
if
work cut out. You have your work cut out for you, sir.
If let me suggest that if the pool were to be reduced or removed, and certainly if the deck were to be removed, possibly a driveway could go there. I know there's a really large tree over that way, but I guess board members, what I'm telling you is I'm not sure how Deirdre could help with this.
Okay, so maybe Deirdre is not the answer, but sir, you've asked for an adjournment. But again, we want to be respectful of that. And you heard Ms. Passaro's suggestions. People in the private sector pay dearly when she was in the private sector for her advice and her knowledge. So take it to heart. We'll give you your 60 days, but really, honestly, perhaps the best thing to consider, the fairest thing to consider for your client is to remove all of the variance requests, get rid of the shed and the deck and the pool, put in a proper driveway that's compliant, and salvage the accessory apartment portion of the application, because I
understand clearly. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. That being said, I'll make a motion that we adjourn the hearing for 60 days at the discretion of the secretary to the board for the exact date. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you
Opposed?
very much for your
None.
time. Happy New Year and be safe.
Same to you, sir, and thank you for your help.
Bye.
All right, next application and final application of the evening, Robert Matter, permission, it's number 019-21, permission to leave one-story addition 10.1 feet by 15.2 feet, having a side yard of 11.5 feet instead of the required 14 feet, reconstructed porch, having a side yard of 8 feet instead of the required 14 feet, and front yard of 18.5 feet instead of the required 25 feet, and to leave an addition to a detached garage 4.1 feet by 20.2 feet, having a side yard
of nothing.
1.4 feet instead of the required 4 feet, Residence B District, west side of Grand Avenue, number 108, 174.72 feet south of Union Street, Islip, New York. Is there anyone here for the applicant?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Is that the applicant?
Yes. I don't know if
Okay, so your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. Robert Nader, 108 Grant Avenue, Islip, New York, 11751.
Okay, and for the benefit of the board members, we all have in our packets a copy of the certificate of occupancy together with the survey. So you may want to take a look at that. Sir, is there anything you'd like to add to the call of the meeting?
Well, the first issue seemed to be the front porch. I have the CFC from 1998 that shows the front porch there. It was saying it was too close to the street, but it's been existing obviously since at least 1998. As far as the garage, it's in the same spot. It did have a 2-foot bump out in the rear, and then that was leveled off with the back wall. The main footprint of the house hasn't been altered, and I believe that rear porch was extended out 2 feet going west and 2 feet going south.
Okay. Ms. Passaro?
Can everybody see my photos?
Yes, thank you so much. Could you perhaps, we all have the CO in front of us. This gentleman seems to believe that he had a C of C for the addition, I guess, right?
Yes, and the dimensions of the addition.
I don't know that I'm seeing that. Is it on here or am I missing
The
it?
dimensions of the addition were, I guess, extrapolated by zoning because they had an older survey, probably from the 1998 C of C that was issued.
Right.
that showed the garage 16 feet deep, right? Was the addition to the rear of the garage, not alongside the garage, correct?
The rear, it was it had the bump out on the survey that I had that was, I believe, 1948. It looked like 18 feet. I'm assuming it must have been 16 feet. It's hard to tell. It's just such an old survey, it's handwritten.
Yeah, well, the CO indicates that the garage was 316 square feet. So I imagine that it was whatever that is times 20 divided by 20, and that would have been the depth of the garage.
Okay.
So that's like I said, the 4.1, I guess, is just extrapolated because you could tell by the photograph that the garage, at least the front of it, is not new.
Yeah. Okay, planning, do you wish to be heard?
No objections. It looks like the porch and the one story in the rear are both trying to keep in line with the existing building. And there's a lot of precedent in the area for side yards of as low as 6.5, 8.7.
Okay, and we're at 8 here, so yeah. Okay, anything else?
No.
All right, thank you so much. Any questions from the board at this time? There being no questions from the board, anyone in the audience wish to be heard on this application? There being none. Mr. Wexler, bring us home.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman. I'll make a motion that we grant the application.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None. Application granted. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
At
Have
this-
a happy new year.
You too. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Well,
Second.
we have some public
I
session items.
apologize. We'll
Yeah.
keep the motion in abeyance for now. Ms. Pissarro, go right ahead, please.
Okay, so did anybody receive an email late in the day with the cases that we were going to?
I couldn't open the attachment, but yes.
Okay. Let me get it open.
I have it.
All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 applications, correct?
Right. Mine might be a little outdated. No, I think I got it. I think I got it right. These applications are in, no, I don't have the most recent one, but you guys do. So that's fine.
All
I'm
right,
ready.
so
I'm ready. No, we gave everybody motions. You don't have to.
Okay, great.
If everybody has their cheat sheets in front of them.
Yes.
I got it.
Cheat
I'm
sheets.
good.
I just got mine open.
We
Great.
have our document indicating.
Right. The first application is in Sayville. It's application number 514-20, Frank and Joanne McGinnis. In accordance with a proposed written decision dated January 12, 2021, the application is denied as to the shed in the second front yard, but granted as to the remainder. On motion of?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. So carried. Next application.
Application number 602-20, Dorothy Lou Steele. In accordance with the proposed written decision dated January 12, 2021, the application is denied as submitted as to the front yard setback of the shed, however, granted permission to maintain no less than 10 feet behind the front line of the dwelling. On motion of?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Application granted. Next application.
Application number 589-20, Nancy Costanzo. In addition, with a proposed written decision dated January 12, 2021, the application is granted. On motion of?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Application
Application number
granted.
604-20, Peter and Lisa Landebergo. In accordance with the proposed written decision dated January 12, 2021, the application is denied as to rear yard occupancy of 52.25%, but granted with a rear yard occupancy not to exceed 40%, and granted as to the remainder. On motion of?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Application granted. Ms. Pissarro, it's refreshing to see you push me along. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Yes. Well, we're going,
And I apologize to the board. We're beyond 7:30. That was just horribly inefficient in the beginning, boy. We had our troubles, huh?
I'll excuse you for the 4 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
Anything else, Ms. Pissarro?
nope, that's it.
All
We'll see
right,
you
I'll
all next
entertain-
Tuesday.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn then.
Motion.
Second, motion,
All in
second.
favor?
Second.
Aye.
Aye.